do not panic. Everybody stay calm. Today we are going to be playing with a whole heap of Patrick Ta Beauty products. I'm going to be doing a full face of makeup, so there will be other brands incorporated as well, but Patrick Ta Beauty is going to be the main brand we use, and the main star of the show is actually going to be the Major Dimensions 1 eyeshadow palette. So I've already got a review up on my channel with the Major Dimensions 2 eyeshadow palette, and I recently just got this one in my collection as well. And we're just going to have a good old time with makeup like we do around here on this channel. Hopefully that sounds interesting to you, and if it does, let's do the YouTubey things. Go ahead and give this video a thumbs up, subscribe, hit that notification bell, and let's get into it. When I went to the US recently, my number one item that I wanted to pick up was actually the Major Dimension 1 palette. I have wanted it, like I said, I've wanted it for so long. It was the main thing I wanted to pick up, and it was sold out everywhere. Could not find it. And then my girl at Empties Make Me Happy, she's Patty here over on YouTube. She's an absolute legend, and she saw it came back in stock on the Patrick Ta website, and she was like, do you want me to pick it up and ship it for you, and you can just send me the money? And I was like, yes, yes, please. So it's finally arrived. Actually, it arrived super quickly. And I am so excited to dip into this and try it and compare it. I have swatched it already to show you guys. So like I've done video swatches, and oh my goodness, the quality feels exceptional. And I'm very, let's just say I'm very excited, like every damn video where I'm like, I'm so excited. But anyway, I am. So what I'm gonna do is I'm going to do a flick over to swatches. So I've got video swatches of me swatching the Major Dimensions 1. So let's flick over to that, and then we're gonna zoom in and we're just gonna play with makeup. I like everything pink today. I got a new headband, as you can probably tell, so I'll link it down below, and I love it because I love me some pink. But I have pink nails, I have a pink shirt, and I have a pink cup. There you go. I do love pink. It is my favorite color apart from green. Green and pink. Best colors in the world in my opinion. I will say, you guys, just even swatching these, oh, they feel like good quality. These feel very beautiful. The metallics in Major Dimension 2 definitely feel a little bit more sparkly just by swatching. These ones here, these definitely feel a little bit more like va-va-voom, if you will. Whereas these ones do feel still, these two here are still very sparkly in this one. This is a matte, and this is a matte with like tiny little gold flecks in it, but it's very pretty. It's like almost like a satin kind of formula. I don't mind it. Definitely this shadow right here, great one and done shadow. And this one's more like a metallic, but these ones here just don't feel as like va-voom as the first one. But I don't necessarily think that's a bad thing. They are still sparkly, don't get me wrong. But I don't necessarily think that's a bad thing, just because like, especially if you were picking this up for like a work palette or something, then that's kind of, you know, it's perfect for the everyday. I'm just gonna dip a little bit into this one and just run it slightly through the crease with my Rephr 16 first. And even though it does have a little slight fleck in it, by the time you blend it out on the eyes, it doesn't really show too much. I'm actually gonna tip into this cream liner, I guess, first with an angled brush before I've actually laid any more down, and I'm gonna create a bit of a wing. So I'm not gonna talk through this because it's hard enough as it is with hooded eyes. There, and they don't look super, like they're not perfect, and that's fine because what I want to do is more just keep them as a guide and a base. So I'm gonna leave that there. Now what I'm gonna do is dip into this shadow right here with my Rephr 16, and I'm just going to lightly pop this in the crease, and I'm gonna start really slow and build, just because I do have that wing down. I just want to be mindful of the shape that I'm creating. That shadow is on, and that blended lovely. It blended very easily, seamlessly, all of that jazz. So the next color I'm going to pick up is this one right here with my Rephr number 1. And I'm just going to continue on the trend of just building the shape that I want and the dimension that I want. And I'm just being a little bit more mindful because I have a tendency with wings to just go a little bit make the shape a bit weird and just go a little bit too crazy. So just trying to be a bit mindful. Now I'm actually going to dip into a mixture of these two, and I'm going to use both of these to deepen the crease as well, and really like packing onto the outer corner as well. Alrighty, so I'm going to leave this here for now, and don't panic, it probably doesn't look quite right, but it will come together, I promise you. I just need to blend that out a little bit though. That's not quite right. Okay, let's go into Intensify Stick from Pat McGrath Labs, and I'm just going to pop this where I'm going to lay down the metallic. And then I've got my Rephr number 2 brush, and I'm going to dip into this shadow first. It is very glittery, so just be mindful of that. That's why I haven't done my base first as well today. I think it might be better actually to just take this shade on your finger, because it is quite glittery. It's very pretty though. These shadows do remind me a bit of Pat McGrath Labs special shades. They really truly do. Not as dimensional as some of them, but the actual formula themselves, they really do come quite close to the Pat McGrath shades. So now I'm gonna pick up this shade right here, just on my finger again, and I'll tap this. This shadow looks so much more peachy pink in the pan, but on your lid it comes off so icy. And then just tapping back into this one and just kind of making them marry together. Now what I'm actually going to do is pick up that Sephora angle brush, and I'm going to dip into the darker brown now. So I'm just retracing where I put that wing a bit. Okay, so let's leave the eyes here and let's go ahead and move on to base. Now I have a little surprise, and this is only going to be a surprise for those of you who are not new around here and really watch me. If you know, you know, but I love this person, love the makeup brand, have wanted to love this particular product with an intense passion, but it just has always been horrific for me, but I think I found a way to make it work. So you guys, I'm talking about the Eldridge foundation. Now if you know, you know, but I just have had such horrific experiences, and that sounds dramatic, and I really mean it. I've had horrific experiences in a makeup sense with this foundation, and have tried so many ways to try and get this to work, and I have found a way to make it work for me finally. I told you I wouldn't give up, and I didn't. How I kind of thought to try this. I tried this yesterday when I was working from home, wasn't filming or anything, and was like, okay, I'll just see. And it's all down to the One Size makeup products and the One Size kind of review video that I filmed for you guys. But when I was filming that, I have the Triple B cream from One Size Beauty, and every time I tried it up until that video, I really hadn't been enjoying it. It was okay of a product, but nothing that looked insanely good on my skin. And it reminded me a lot of the Eldridge foundation, actually. In that video, I set my foundation with the One Size powder foundation, and it transformed that Triple B foundation on my skin, transformed it. It made my skin look flawless for the entire day, kid you not. And because the Triple B foundation or cream from One Size reminds me so much of the Eldridge, yesterday I was like, I'm gonna try it. I'm gonna try this tactic with the Eldridge cream, foundation, sorry, and I did, and it didn't look like the best foundation. It's still not comparable to like my KVD Locket or the Pure 4-in-1 Selfie or the NARS Light Reflecting, but it's pretty close to being like, I'm like, okay. So let's do it. Now it could also be the primers that I used underneath as well. And the primers that I used yesterday was the Rose Ink and the Danessa Myricks. So that's what we're gonna do today. We're just gonna keep it as similar as possible. I am actually gonna try a different powder on top of this one just to see if it's specific to the One Size powder or if it's specific to just the technique, but we'll see. Anyway, I'm taking the Rose Ink Tinted Serum. This is in the shade 040. I know that technically this is a foundation in itself. This is my BK 101. Love the BK brushes, you guys. Can't stress enough. These are amazing. But I know that this Rose Ink one is technically a foundation as well in its, or like a tinted serum in its own sense, but I like to use it as a primer. I'm just gonna take my Yummy Skin, what is this called? I always forget. Yummy Skin Blurring Balm Powder. I like to use this as a T-zone product because it keeps my oils at bay. I wouldn't say it makes me super poreless, but it does a pretty darn good job of making me quite smooth, but I just like that it keeps my oils in my T-zone at bay. I have tried it a few different ways to make this work as like an actual powder. It just doesn't work for me. I've tried all of the techniques that you guys have suggested. For people that have suggested techniques, I've watched a heap of videos. It just doesn't work for me, but I do really like this as a primer. I was gonna do a dedicated video on it, but I just don't see the point because people get very upset when or people got very upset, not you guys that watch me continuously, but that video is kind of as it gains views, people get really upset with me that I didn't like the Danessa Myricks Yummy Skin Foundation and Primer. Like, I mean, people took it personally, and I was just like, I don't understand. Like, I wasn't, like, that's my opinion. Do you want me to lie? Is it like, and this is sometimes the thing with YouTubers, right? Like, I mean, granted, touch wood, I haven't had a lot of, like, idiot people, but, like, you're damned if you do, if you're damned if you don't. Sometimes if you love every single product, it's like, oh, you just love everything because of, you know, you want to be seen by the brand or whatever. But then if you don't like something and you genuinely don't like it, they're like, how dare you not like this product? You're like, I don't really know what you want from me. Anyway, side note, I've got the shade 5. It is too light for me. I like to pump a couple of pumps onto the back of my hand here, and I'm going to take my 101 from BK because this is what I used yesterday. And I'm just gonna pick up some of the product, and it will be too light for me, so don't panic. But I'm just gonna stamp it around my face. This foundation, one of the biggest issues I've had is just even application. If I use a sponge, it kind of just takes the product off or soaks it all up. If I use my hands, it doesn't really seem to like that too much. I have used other brushes and it hasn't liked that. This brush is pretty much the only brush that kind of has worked kind of okay. But in saying that, I still kind of need to, what I found yesterday was actually what I need to do is use some hand sanitizer first. Just kind of tap over this lightly. And it's just going to then, and I know you're like, well, why don't you just put it on with your hands? I don't know, because for some reason it doesn't apply well like that either, you guys. I have to put it on with this brush and then do this, and for some reason it just worked out better. Can't explain it. I'm gonna take my Charlotte Tilbury Magic Vanish Color Corrector, I think it's called. This is the shade Fair. Again, I've been really liking this, and I didn't super think it did much at the start, but I've changed my mind, so I find does anyone else just go through cycles with their makeup products? This is why I don't like to declutter too much, because sometimes I'm like, oh, I hate this product, it doesn't work for me, and then I come back to it like a couple of months later and try a different technique, or just my skin's behaving different at that time, or my preference has changed slightly, and I'm like, oh, this is great, why haven't I been using this? Anyone else? Just me? No? Concealer that I'm taking is the One Size Concealer. This has honestly, truly, you guys, become just such a favorite for me. I really, really like this concealer. And yes, it will look too dark compared to this foundation. Do not panic. Everybody stay calm, because when I powder, my foundation's gonna get a bit darker. And I'm just gonna let it sit there for a second and dry. And while I do that, I'm going to start contouring my face up with this Patrick Ta product. So I got the shade She's Sculpted, which is the middle shade. So there's 3 shades in this, like kind of light, medium, dark. Definitely can use expanding, that's for sure. While I'm talking, I'm going to just pick up a little bit of this product with my Real Techniques Expert Face Brush and work the excess product off on here. And then I'm just gonna slightly start contouring and warming up the rest of my face. I got the middle shade because the light shade undertone was just not right for me at all. Like, it really was a weird kind of undertone or tone in general for like my skin color, I should say. So that is why I got the middle one, and I just have to use a light hand with it. So it is quite dark, this product. I just need to be careful that I don't use too much and I can get away with it. But yeah, the undertone, I don't know if anyone else has found the undertone of the light shade was odd for them, I'm not sure. I'm just gonna tap this underneath here. just leave that there for now, but I think you can tell it's given me like a slight little shadow there. And then now I'm just going to tap out this concealer. By letting it sit for a minute to dry down, it's just going to create a little bit more coverage for me. Let's go ahead and set our under eyes. I'm going to take my Laura Mercier Secret Brightening Powder with my Sigma F35, and I'll just tap this slightly under here. The powder that I set it with yesterday was the One Size powder foundation, but it's just a smidge too dark for me, especially when this foundation is so pale for me. So I thought I would either try the MAC Studio Fix NC25 or the Kosas Breezy. Let's try Breezy because I want to know, and the reason for this is I want to know whether it was the powder foundation that made me like it, or if it was, and that specific powder foundation, or if it was this brush and the technique that I used. So the way that I set it yesterday, I used the powder foundation from One Size with this BK105, which is the coolest brush. I really like it. And I like stamped it in and then stamped it all over my face. So I'm gonna try it with a normal powder, and especially being Kosas being my favorite powder, which look, I need to buy another one, which would be my 5th, I think. And I'm gonna stamp it like I did with the One Size, and let's see if it's this or the One Size. Okay, I think it's the brush, you guys. I think it might be the brush. Look out, world. It's gotta be this brush. Look at that. Look at that, you guys. I am so excited. Let's finish up the bronzer aspect of the video. I am going to take my BK103 and I'm gonna dip into the powder side. I don't mind this powder bronzer. I think it's quite pretty. I do have probably others that I like slightly more, but I think it is a beautiful product. And I do like that it's in the same compact, and I like the finish on the skin. It's quite smoothing. Would you guys be interested in a video about me talking about my favorite brands and like why, and products specifically from those brands that I like? Because it hasn't been until this year where I've really started like digging into my products and like certain kind of like buying more products from one brand in specific to kind of really work out if like a feel for the brand almost. And since I've been doing that, I really have discovered brands that I just have fallen head over heels in love with. So let me know if you'd be interested in that. This video is gonna be so long and my editing self is gonna hate me. Anyway, okay, let's do brows. I need to do brows because until I do brows, I just can't look at myself. Let's finish up lower lash line. I have to say the lower lash line is my least favorite part of doing my makeup because I don't do anything exciting with it. Where's my brush for the lower lash line? That's what I want to know. You and me both. This is a BK207. I don't do anything exciting with my lower lash line. I just, you know, run whatever I put through my crease underneath it. I don't like to do a lot to my lower lash line. I have downturned eyes and it makes them more downturned if I kind of put too much on. At least I personally think that. So it's my least favorite part of my makeup application. If I could just click my fingers and have my lower lash line done, I would. Then for inner corner, naturally we have to take this little icy one and pop that. Just a little bit in there. For eyeliner, I am going to put the black Charlotte Tilbury on the top and then this olive one from Melt on the bottom, and then my mascara, for mascara, sorry, I'm gonna use Huda Beauty, and then I'll come back and we'll finish up the rest of the face, so just 2 seconds. Cream highlight, Huda Beauty. Look at this, this is a mess. Look at it. Isn't that a mess? Tragic. But I love this product. I think this product is underrated. It doesn't get the hype it deserves in my personal humble opinion. So see? It's beautiful, you guys. It deserves the hype. For powder highlights, because you know I'm extra and I love doing it all, Pat's Golden Nectar, which I think I've almost hit pan or have, is that pan? Or is that, no, that's product. I'm pretty close though, right? Hitting pan on a highlighter is, I think, like, you're doing well for yourself, you know, because it's you don't use a lot of this product. Oh, she's glowy. Let's be real. This color right here is the color that, if I can get it open, I do find these hard to open sometimes. This color is the color I should go for, right? It's gonna look the most cohesive. But I wanna use one of these. And I kind of want to use this one because I'm in so much pink that I just think a little pop of pink on my cheeks might just make it all blend in make it all blend in well together. Good. Can't speak today. I'm going to take my BK 106. This has become my new favorite cream blush brush. And I'm going to dip into this hot bubblegum pink. It is called, I think it's called She's a Doll. This one. She's a Doll. If you're looking for the like single shade of it. Now these are pigmented, my friends. You don't want to go in ham. So what I do is I pick some on the brush, pick some up on the brush directly from the pan, and then I really make sure that it's worked into the brush, and I kind of just, I really lightly start applying this. And like if I take a few times to build it up, I'm okay with that, because if you even go slightly too far with this, you're gonna rue the day, I can assure you. The other thing is Patrick actually recommends that I'll link his YouTube channel down below, by the way, if you haven't seen him. I binge all his videos. He's delightful. He doesn't do them as much now. I think that COVID isn't in. I think when we were in isolation, he was filming quite a lot of content, but now he's obviously busy. You know, he is a working celebrity makeup artist as well. I'm just gonna take my sponge and tap over this. But I've watched all his videos. He's lovely. And his technique is divine. Let's go in and pick up some of the powder. So I've got a BK 107. By the way, BK is delightful and has given me a code for you guys to get 10% off. So that's in my description box. There's a heap of things in my description box, you guys, if you are ever wondering, or if you're ever wondering if you would like to support my channel and you're shopping like at Sephora or anything. I actually have like links in my description box that you can click on and shop through, and I do get a small commission. You absolutely do not have to, just if you want to. And down there is also all of the brushes that I use, all the brush companies that are my favorite, so Rephr and BK and Delium. And I do have a code where you get 10% off. I don't earn any commission from that. I do earn a slight commission from the link itself, but not the code, just in case you're wondering. This one right here, the powder. And again, like go light because it's pigmented. I'm gonna take my Touch of setting spray. Setting spray is on. Let's go ahead and put lips on. I'm gonna take this NYX Line Loud lip pencil, which, Line Loud, it's like Line Loud, I guess. The name's weird, I don't know, the name doesn't make sense to me. Anyway, this is called Fierce Flirt. It's like a mauvey lip pencil, so I'm gonna take this one. This color is kind of like Colourpop Oh Snap, which is actually one of my faves, but I like this a little bit more. And I like the formula and the shade of this a little bit more, and it's NYX. So if you're not someone that wants to like order off Colourpop, especially if you're Australian, the shipping is like just so forever. It takes like months. So if you want, like, you can just go to Priceline or whatever and get NYX. But let's take Tom Ford. This is the best packaging of all time. I just love it. This is Indiana Rose, and I really like this. So we're gonna pop this one on and see what it looks like. I'm just gonna take some of my Lawless Forget the Filler lip gloss, and this is in the shade True Velvet, I think. Where's the shade name? Velvet, just Velvet. Why did that take so long? I love the little doe foot. It's like a little foot. Isn't that cute? I'm just gonna pop it in the center. Perfect. And then that's pretty much it. So let's zoom you guys out so we can see the finished look. This is the finished makeup look. What do you guys think? I love it. I am feeling very girly today with all of the pink. Very, very girly, and I'm here for it, and I love it. Now, the Patrick Tar Major Dimension 1 eyeshadow palette, highly recommend. The quality of this eyeshadow formula is truly exceptional. The mattes are incredibly buttery, incredibly smooth, and just easily blended. The metallics in here are really quite similar to a pat shade, just not as vavoom, but still very lovely. And just like if you're a neutral everyday makeup wearer, if you're someone that really just wants an eyeshadow palette that's very, very fuss free for the everyday, no matter the occasion, I think that you would really get a lot of use out of this palette. And then you do get the creams down the bottom as well, so that you can kind of create a wing or a base to your shadow, whatever it is that you please. I think you guys, even with Major Dimension 2, I really think that these palettes are worth their money. I think they're really, really high quality and really good. The brand as a whole, as Patrick Ta, is just exceptional to me. I think he's so on the right track to creating a brand that's just an absolute staple for people. And there is just something about these makeup artist brands that I have been trying, like Patrick Ta, Makeup by Mario, Lisa Eldridge. There is just something to them where their products are just they are just good quality products. And even though up until today I haven't been able to make this Lisa Eldridge foundation work for me, I know that a lot of people find that her foundation is a holy grail, but her other products that I have tried are exceptional holy grails for me. So there's just, yeah, there's something about these makeup artist brands, and I think we all know why. They are experts in their field and they know what they're looking for in a product and testing it. And it shows. I hope you've enjoyed the video. Let me know your thoughts down below on Patrick Ta Beauty. Is it a brand that you love? Is it a brand that you've been eyeing off trying? And if you have any questions on the products that I have, let me know. I'm happy to answer you guys. And that is it. Now, if you're watching till this point, you're an absolute MVP. Thank you so much, truly. Please don't forget to give the video a thumbs up and subscribe. The thumbs up button in particular truly helps my channel out. It tells YouTube that you enjoy the video and it tells them to kind of show it to other people. So it really does help my channel out, sorry. And I do truly appreciate it. And other than that, I hope you have an amazing day wherever you are in the world, and I will see you next time. Bye.